Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to understand how to evaluate a candidate for selection in any business. To understand this phenomena, to understand this process, I am requesting you to make your mind that you are a businessman or a business person. Only then you will be able to understand the need and the process of selection. So I am very hopeful that you have made your mind. You are a businessman or you are a business person. Think about your business and you are going to select, you are going to evaluate a candidate to help in your business. Let's say you want to have a computer operator, you want to have a clerk, you want to have a cashier, you want to have an accountant, you want to have a manager. So these are different person who can help you to grow your business. So a candidate which is productive, that would be favorable for your business. And now we will decide who will be productive candidate for your business. What I am saying is you want to select a productive candidate. What does that mean? A candidate upon which there is least cost. Least cost we are putting upon that candidate and highest output he can give to us. What does that mean? I'm repeating. Least input with highest output. That would be a productive candidate. Again, I'm repeating, you are a business person, you want to have a candidate who can help to grow your business. And who will be the candidate who will help us to make our business growing? That would be a productive candidate. And how you will define a productive candidate? Who will have least cost. That means his expenses, his salary, his commission, his bonus is at least stage. And what he is doing, producing, and his output is at the highest level. That would be a productive candidate with which your business will grow. Today we will try to evaluate what candidates can be most productive to us. So there are some evaluation criteria that what we will be discussing. The very first thing is very common. We will see his education, we will see his skills, we will see his qualifications with which we can primarily decide whether the person is productive or not. Obviously, if you need an accountant, we will see what level of education he does have. What kind of education does he have? Let's say we were talking about an accountant, so we will see whether he does have an accounting degree. This is the first criteria. If he does have his degree, if he has this degree from recognized institute, this is our basic first criteria. We will see education, skill and qualification. The primarily we will see what degree he does have and from where he has completed this degree. Okay, and then we will see how good he is skillful. We will see skills. Well, it means if a person does have an accounting degree, whether he can make accounting treatments well. Sometimes it happens a person may have degree but he would not be having skills If an accountant does have degree but he is unable to make journals, he is unable to make ledgers, he is unable to make balance sheet, he is unable to calculate profit and loss, so his degree would not be considered enough. So degree is important. Beside that, his practical skills are more important. And then we will see if he does have any extra certificates, if he does have any diplomas beside that, and obviously his alma mater. This is little difficult word, but consider it alma mater. His previous educational institutes, those are called alma mater, or the institute from where he had taken highest degree. All right guys, so first thing first is to see his education, his skills, and his qualification. All right, the second most important thing is his work experience. Now consider a person has a good degree and he has taken this degree from a recognized institutes. He does know how to make journal ledgers, balance sheet. He does have certificates, but unfortunately he is fresh. He does not have any work experience, with which what will happen? He will not be able to play a role as most productive candidate. What will happen? We'll have to train him. It means we'll have to put more. That would not be that would not be having least input. In this case, you will have to give him a proper training for your purpose. So ultimately, this candidate without proper experience would not be considered a productive candidate. Beside that, you will have to see whether he does have that experience relevant or not. Like I was telling you, if you are appointing an accountant, he does have degree, but he is not having relevant experience. Let's say he worked as a medical rep. For instance, I'm telling you, this is just an example. You were hiring an accountant, but he does not have experience of accounting. He was working there as a cashier. He was working there as a data entry clerk. So it means he has experience but not relevant to your requirement. This would not be considered as productive candidate. We will see what achievement. Secondly, we will see what achievements he have in his fields. Sometimes it happens that in previous organization he worked well, he performed well, and have gotten some medals or some positions in that work. It means he had achieved a milestone. That kind of candidate would work for us well. So first was to see education, second was to see work experience. In work experience, you will see whether the relevant experience he does have and what kind of achievement he does have in his previous organization, and you will consider years of experience as well. For example, you do have two candidates, same education, but you are going to hire an accountant. Both are BS Accounting and Finance. It means education, skill, and qualification for both candidates is equal. What happened? One candidate was having 5 years of experience. The second candidate was having 10-year experience. So obviously you will prefer to have 10-year experienced candidate. First to see education, then to see your experience, and the third one we will see how much he is competent for your work. This is our third criteria. Competent mean if he has good communication skills. You know, sometimes a person has the degree, sometimes he does have experience as well, but he is not having complete and comprehensive communication skills, with which his productive skills would lack and he will not be able to perform well. So you will see, you will test in interview whether he does have a good communication skill or not, and then you will test whether he is problem solving or not. Please understand, when you are doing your business, you cannot sit back and relax. Business is goal oriented activity. Business is target oriented activity. You will not be able to relax while doing your business. So obviously your candidate would also be a sort of candidate who can face the challenges, who can face the problems, and immediate solution he must have. So you will check during interview whether the candidate can solve the problem or not. And very important is teamwork. He must not be introvert. He must not be working within his own territory. He must come out. He must work together as a team. That candidate who is not able to absorb different characteristics, different characters in a team, that candidate would never be a productive candidate. So you will see whether he can accept different demographies, different cultures in organization, whether he can mix up as a team, or if a person is not able to mix up, we will consider him unqualified or competent. And then finally we will see adaptability. Adaptability means he had come from a different perspective. He had come from a different organization. Each organization has a different culture, different working environment. Adaptability means how quickly he is mixing himself in organizational culture, current organization, or your business or your organization. If a person is taking too much time to mix himself in your business environment, we will consider him not competent for your business. Adaptability means whatever his background is, whatever his likes and dislike is, as he is joining your organization, he is immediately converting himself according to requirement of your business environment. That candidate would be productive, that candidate would be favorable for us. So we have seen three different perspectives right now. We have seen his education, we have seen his work experience, and we have seen whether the person is competent or not. And then we will see his personality traits as well. Look, a person, how he is having characteristics regarding his personal attitude. We will see whether he is aligned with organizational values. Look, it's already has been discussed over here in point of adaptability. Align mean what is his preferences, what are his preferences, what are his likes, what are his dislikes. That is a secondary thing. Being aligned means he is living his habits, he is living his likes, And what he is doing, he is liking what organization wants him to like. He is preferring what organization wants him to prefer, leaving his personal habits and adopting the requirements of organization is basically the alignment with organizational value. So we will see whether he is ready to align with the organizational values. We will see his attitude. If he does have good attitude, if he does have positive aspects, if he does have ready to absorb the differences of organization, if he does have positive attitude, that would be workable and preferable candidate. Now at number 5, we will see if he does have leadership qualities. No matter if he is working as an assistant, if he is not working as the leader of his department, even an assistant accountant, assistant cashier, or assistant computer operator, assistant manager, even then we'll have to see whether he does have leadership qualities or not, because we are not hiring a candidate for the short term period. A good leader will make his space by his own capabilities. Even what is important to understand is, even if you are not hiring a manager, if you are not hiring a CEO, if you are not hiring a lead position, even then you will have to search whether the candidate does have leadership qualities or not, because you want to hire a candidate for the longer period of time. Next sentence is very important. I need to be very attentive. Look, if you have a candidate that is not suitable for you, you have two options. I'm repeating, if you want to have a candidate, uh, you have two options. After a shorter period of time, that candidate has become unfavorable. Now, what are those two options? Either to remove that candidate from your organization and hire the new one. This is your first option. You have hired a candidate, that candidate becomes unfavorable for you. You have first option to remove this candidate and hire a new candidate. Second option, to make few adjustment for the old candidate. Do not remove old candidate, do not hire a new candidate, rather train and adjust old candidate. Please remember, whenever you will remove old candidate and will hire new candidate, it would always be costlier, it would always be having unfavorable aspects. But when you will, when you are not going to remove old candidate, you are not hiring a new candidate in place, rather you have decided to make few adjustments, rather you have decided to train old candidate. Please remember, in human resource management process, second option of not removing old candidate would always be in favor of organization. That is why, what was the point, if you are hiring a, a candidate of lower level job, even then you will have to seek the leadership quality in that particular candidate. All right, number 6, we will have to see his behavior. Behavior is another essential and necessary trait for any candidate. Like whether the person is problem saving or not. If you are putting more pressure, more work targets have been given. So what his behavior is, whether he is accepting that challenge, whether he is accepting that goal, whether he is accepting that different environment. It means, if he is accepting, that is favorable for your business. If he is reluctant, to change the environment. If he is reluctant to change, to accept the new targets, he will not be productive. So at number 6, we have seen his behavioral assessment. For that, I would like you to understand this word star. In stars, first thing, when situations are changed, what is his behavior? The first thing, star for S for situation. Then you will see if you have given some tasks to him. And number C, you will see what actions he is making. And lastly, what results he is producing. For behavior, you will give him a situation, a targeting situation, a challenging situation. A problem has been given to him to assess his behavior. When the situation has been changed, the task has been changed, role has been changed, challenge has been changed, what action he had made against these situations and tasks. And then these three are important, but the most important thing is result. If he has achieved his target, if he had accepted that challenge, and after acceptance he is successful, no matter what action he has taken, no matter what method he has used, but result is in success. It means the behavior of that particular person is favorable for our organization. It is a productive candidate. And on the other hand, if a situation has been given, task has been given, he has taken action, everything was perfect. According to his demand, situation was given, according to his ease or comfort, a task has been given, he had taken action, but the result was not successful. That was failure. So the candidate would automatically be considered as not favorable according to his behavior. Now, after number 6, we will see his technical or practical texts. Above, there are several things which are not predicting about his practical skills. He has education, he has work experience, he might be considered competent, the person has leadership qualities, but now you will give this sort of thing in front of him. You will give him some practical test. Let's say if you are hiring an accountant, please understand, if you are hiring an accountant, what you will do, you will give him some inputs and you will ask him to create a balance sheet. If the person is computer operator, you will ask him to create a codes. If the person is cashier, you will give him some currency notes and give him the task accordingly. When you will give him a practical task, these were just conversations, these were just communication. And how you will test all of above communication? By giving him a practical test. If he is successful, he would be considered favorable or acceptable candidate. Then you must have references of that particular candidate. And let's say nobody is ready to give reference of that particular candidate. It means he does not have good background. He has not worked well. He has not worked in organization who are professionally well. So ask from that candidate to give references of previous organization. And then you will see his professional appearance. Please understand, sometimes you see appearance does not matter, but please note it down. In several ways, appearance is more important. How he is presenting himself. Note down how he is presenting himself, how he is using his facial expression, how is he is presenting his work task. Sometimes there are two candidates. First person is successful, second person is also successful. That means for both candidates, you have taken a practical test. This is a little sensitive matter. I need your attention. So you have given practical test to two candidates. Tasks were given, situations were given, both candidates have taken action and both candidates were successful. But one candidate had presented that test properly and second candidate have used some improper or rough ways to achieve that target. So it means both were having skills, both were having work experience, their communication skills were well, tasks were given, actions were taken, successful practical test has been completed, both were having references. So what was lacking? One candidate had a proper presentation skill to achieve that result, and secondly, second candidate have used some rough ways, some improper ways to achieve that target. So obviously even all eight traits were equal, but good presentation skill should be your preference. So we will choose a candidate who has good professional appearance, presentation skills. Then finally, we will see how motivated that candidate is. Please understand motivation or motivated candidate would always be helpful to us. A candidate who had already accepted a calm or cool behavior. He is not a sort of active candidate. He is not ready to face the challenges. He is not ready to accept unusual tasks and targets. That means he is not motivated. A motivated candidate would always be active, would always be ready to absorb the different shocks in the business or in his line of duty. A motivated candidate would also lead for others as well. So guys, these were few points with which we have decided a candidate is whether productive or not. As usual, we will see and revise. First, you will see his degree, how much experience he does have, how good he is in communication. We will see his personality trait and especially attitude towards the goals. And then we have seen his behavior. A practical test was given for different situation, tasks were given, he had taken action, and we will see whether he is successful or he is unsuccessful for these targets. We will see some references from previous organizations. Then finally we will see his appearance, how good he is in presentation as a person or as a candidate for his target as well. A, a candidate is having a good presentable personality first, and secondly, how good he is presentable for his action as well. And we will see how much motivated the candidate is. More he is motivated, more he would be the source of productive activities. So guys, you are requested to please see it, understand these heading well. If you feel anything difficult, you are very open to share your problem through messages, text, or you can meet directly to share your problem. I will be humbly trying my best to answer your question immediately. So it's time to end our topic today. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for your time. Allah Hafiz.